This week on the Erotic Awakening Podcast, episode 769, Finding Your Inner Goddess with Kickballs, Monster Romance, and New Places. Welcome to Erotic Awakening, an exploration of all things erotic. If you are offended by adult topics or prohibited by law, I recommend you stop listening right now. First, heartfelt thanks to the amazing patrons of Erotic Awakening, each and every one of you. Your support literally keeps this podcast, the longest running kink podcast, on the air. This week, a special welcome to our newest supporter, TT. I'm so glad you're here, and thanks for your support. If you'd like to help support the show, consider becoming a patron. Just visit patreon.com/erotic awakening today. Hi, everyone. I'm Dawn, and I'm here this week to continue the conversations on power exchange, polyamory, sacred sexuality, and simply fun kink. So today we have an interview with Kickballs, and she is going to talk about finding your inner goddess. Now, I interviewed her weeks ago on this, and I'm just now getting it on the show. And it's kind of funny because her and I are going to be talking a little bit about how to awaken your inner goddess with your kink journey and how it worked for her. But I also taught a class last night on Zoom about how to awaken your inner sex goddess. And I'm going to be teaching it at Libertine in a couple of weeks. So this seems to be my theme that I'm working on right now. And I I mentioned my interview with her in my class last night because the glow on her face. That's what it's about. Now, this interview is audio, not video. So no one's going to see it, but I did when I recorded it. So just take my word for it. She glowed when she talked about this stuff. That's amazing. That is what I like to see. But here, let's see what she has to say. So with me today is Kickballs. What a fun name. And we are going to chit chat about how your inner goddess got awoken through communication in nudism, BDSM, squirting, and I'm going to assume kicking balls.
Yes,
So
you are
hi,
correct.
so hi, Kickballs.
Hello there.
Oh
Happy
my
to be on the
gosh.
show.
Fantastic. So I was interested in that topic of having your inner goddess awoken because many of us, that's a goal, whether we know it or not, in whatever form that takes for us. So tell me what you mean about having your inner goddess awoken. Mm.
I was a farm girl, grew up in a very, very vanilla religious household. I had no idea any of this existed until I met the man I'm with today. And I've been with him over 10 years. And he made me feel so sexy. I had a previous marriage. He put me down verbally. I felt so alone and just yucky with him. I didn't feel sexy at all. I didn't feel like anything.
Hmm.
He cheated on me. It was just a bad marriage. But then I met this man now through a coworker of mine. And oh my God, I never knew that I could feel this way. He made me feel so sexy in my body and confident. And then he introduced me to nudism, took me to the nude pool for the first time. I go there now once a week, especially when it's opened, and you develop more body confidence. You see people that are all shapes, sizes, colors, doesn't matter. We look at each other in the eyes
Hmm.
and you don't have nothing to hide behind. So I feel even more empowered being naked. So I'm a naturist. I do it outside. I can do it in public, private, anywhere. I love to be naked everywhere because I think it's truly empowering.
That was one of my experiences like in the dungeon. I'll tell people, getting into
Yes.
kink and getting in the dungeon and seeing people of all shapes and sizes and colors and ages and abilities and everything get naked helped me feel better about my own body. Right?
Yes.
And now with my scars and my aging and everything and me getting naked, I'll have other people tell me kind of like, well, if you can do it, I can do it. Which is that a backhanded compliment? I'm not sure. I take it in the spirit it was given, right?
Yes.
That I helped them be courageous. So, yeah, so that is amazing. Can I ask what region of the country you're in that has a nudist pool?
I'm in Wisconsin
Okay.
and yeah.
I'm
And
gonna be up there.
Cambridge, Wisconsin. It's half hour from Madison.
Okay, I am writing that down because I am gonna be up in Madison in November. Is the pool gonna be open?
No, it'll be closed by then.
Damn, that's because
But
it's
I would love
cold
to
in
meet you.
Madison.
Yes. They just opened up and they close in September.
Must be an outdoor pool.
Yes, it is.
So yes, it is cold up in Madison, which is why I may not move up there. Um, but we can do lunch or something, and you can tell me the ins and outs of the nudism
I
scene
would
there.
I would love that.
So you said not just nudism, but BDSM, squirting, kicking
Yes.
balls. How does all of that bring out your inner goddess?
Because when him and I were talking, and the more you talk to each other and, okay, what are your fantasies? What do you want to explore? And that created wonderful conversation like, oh, well, I was a little girl. I went to a Lutheran school. I loved kicking boys in the balls. We would play foursquare or kickball, and I would aim for their junk or for dodgeball. I would do the same thing. And they're like, you can't do that. You have to sit out. Well, I thought it was hilarious. It was fun. So he asked me, he's like, what else would you like to explore and try? And I'm like, hmm, I love to kick a man in the balls. I did that to my ex-husband out of spite because I was really pissed off at him and it felt good and I just dropped him. I'm like, yes. And I did it to his best friend as well. He's like, I can't take that. It can't be that hard. And I dropped him too. And I'm like, God, that felt so powerful. So he, let me do it softly at first.
Right?
So I would like, just a little bit of slap, maybe a knee. And then I'm like, oh, can I just kick you softly? And he's like, yeah, let's go. I'm like, oh. So he saw me get more excited. So he was getting excited from me being turned on. It is so empowering to kick a man in the most vulnerable place on their whole body.
Hmm.
And he just stands there and takes it. Now we've been doing it for over 10 years. It is flipping fantastic. I love teaching people how to do it. At Kinky College, I literally taught, I don't know, 10, 15 women, not more, right in the dungeon, how to kick a man in the balls. I did it at a Wild Wicked weekend in Kansas, I think last year, for a ball busting competition. I never felt so powerful. And then now I can literally squirt without even being touched. It turns me on that much.
Wait. A ball busting competition.
I've done that. Yes, I was an
Tell
expert
me,
kicker.
tell me a little more about that. I've not heard of that.
Oh my God.
I see the smile on your face.
Oh, I was one of the expert kickers and my man was in the competition. He actually won the Midwest ball busting champion.
Nice.
There was 3 kickers and then we had 6 contestants. One was from like Alaska, all over the world, country, Kansas, Wisconsin, other states I can't remember. But the guy from Alaska saw me kick, and I go balls to the walls, hardest as possible. I'm like, if you're in a
Mhm.
competition, you would have to take it.
Right.
And he saw me kick, and he's like, I want to take my balls home. I'm not gonna do it. So he bowed out.
Nice, nice. Makes me want to ask more questions about that, but maybe we'll save that for another show. But I mean, I can see the radiance in your face. So our listeners won't be able to see it, but I'm telling you, radiance in your face at the idea of kicking balls and and consensually. It's not like you're going through the
Yes.
grocery store kicking men in the nuts. But you find consensual partners that enjoy it as well, or maybe they just like the radiance on your face, like you were saying about your partner. And that is the look of the goddess. That is the inner goddess coming out to shine. So
Yeah.
finding your thing that works for you is amazing. And squirting without being touched, now that's a skill.
I can the man that I have right now, I never knew this ever existed. I've never really orgasmed before or squirted before. I didn't know any of that. All of a
Right.
sudden, we have such a strong connection. I'm like, "I've never felt this before." I'm like, when I first started to squirt, I'm like, "I feel like I'm gonna pee." I'm like, "Wait a minute, is this right?" He's like, "No, honey, just let it go, let it go." So I keep telling women as well that if you think you're gonna pee or whatever when you're gonna orgasm, it's not. Just let it go and you will not regret it because it is the best thing. And now sometimes they call me like the Bellagio because I can go and go and go over and over again.
Nice.
And just from kissing him, I can squirt. Ask anybody, just from being spanked, I can squirt. And I have videos, all my friends at the dungeon. I have birthday parties at the dungeon, and I
Nice.
can pack the dungeon in Milwaukee, and it is fantastic. We used to have so much fun that if you communicate with your partner and let them know that explore your fantasies, things like that, your relationship will get even better. And then I think your connection will even be better. And then you get to know yourself more as well. Like, oh, I like that. No, I don't. But once you like something, you can explore even more. So we're exploring more and more. And I absolutely love that. That you don't
I
know what you don't know.
Right. I love the idea, though, that you're squirting without being touched because a lot of people believe, and maybe I need to have this on the show again. A lot of people believe that you have to be manually stimulated in a certain way to get the squirting to happen. And I have found that not to be the case when it comes to titty play. So why not other kinds of play? You squeeze my boobs just right and it's going to happen. Um,
Exactly.
yeah. So, getting stuff that you enjoy can cause that in some people. And again, watching the radiance on your face is just so what are you going to do with this goddess energy?
Well, I do have a website now, goddessbb.com. I've got videos, things like that. I want to help empower women as well because I've been trying to giving some more talks and like all my nudist friends, I'm also helping them experience BDSM. Like, it
Mm.
kind of can go hand in hand
Mm-hmm.
and, get that little bit of extra push and like you just have to up educate. And I want people to feel sexy, male, female, whatever gender you are, it does not matter. You just have to feel confident in your own skin.
Mm-hmm.
And I love to stress that to everybody. I'm like, you know what? Love yourself first, and then you can love everybody else as well. That'll help the world be more kind. And then also, you can also be forgiving that everybody has imperfections, but you have to awaken that goddess inside of you to, you know what? I'm going to be 50 this year. I'm freaking fabulous. And I love the way I look. And if you don't like it, it's okay. But I'm happy with myself.
And finding it through these different communities.
Yes.
Amazing, amazing. Well, thank
Hmm.
you for being on the show, Kickballs. I'm going to have your website on the show notes so people can find it, but I'm absolutely with you. And let's find our inner goddess, our inner god for some, and let us shine.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Thanks for being on the show.
You're very welcome.
Fantastic. So I hope everybody is able to find that inner peace that makes them glow. Just exciting. I see it a lot in dungeons. I just saw it in a dungeon last Saturday night. Oh, wait, maybe that was me. Anyway, more events to come, more dungeons to come, more chances to experience that inner glow. Now, if you'd like to share that glow or see that glow. There we go. There's the segue. Here's where you can find me in person. I will be at Libertine in Southern Indiana Labor Day weekend. I'm presenting vending and it's a camping event. It's going to be so much fun. Scissor Tail in Tulsa, Oklahoma, September 25 through 27, where I'll be emceeing the contest. Seek, a submissive retreat in Wisconsin, October 8th through 11. Satyricon in Madison, November 8th. I'll be vending. Wisconsin Leather Pride in Milwaukee, November 13th through 15. I'm presenting. Kink Holiday Bazaar in Chicago, November 21st. I'm vending. So lots of hooded aftercare blankets currently being made. More info to come as the details get ironed out. Keep up with all the places I'm presenting or vending or whatever. My online classes and intensives, book news discounts, and more via the Erotic Awakening newsletter. And when you sign up, you get your EA shout out like Train in Idaho. Head over to eroticawakening.com and subscribe to the newsletter today. All right, I said I was going to talk about monster romance. Okay, the romance I listen to also has some monster fuckery in it. Absolutely. And funny thing is, I have a couple of favorite authors, and I'm listening to one of them today, and I really wanted to listen to her monster fuckery books. I've listened to all the ones that are on my Libby accounts, my libraries. I've listened on Everand and Audible and, all these places. I just found some on Spotify. And because I have a paid Spotify account, it's just rolling from book to book once I hit play. It's amazing. So, monster romance, monster fuckery. The ones I'm listening to right now are more alien. But when she talks about, and he grew from a 7-foot alien to a 9-foot alien, that's monster in my book. And then I just find it funny because someone sent me a link, and this link is about monster romance, but it is a character. It's a human guy at a rock climbing wall, maybe, but there is a piece of equipment on this that kind of looks like a very, very huge monster penis. And he's trying to wrap himself around this penis as if he's trying to figure out how the character in the book is actually fucking this monster when it has such a huge member. Or how do they call it in the books? Member, staff, rod, whatever. And he's wrapping his whole body around this thing. And I'm listening. I just turned on my book again, and it's like he just turned into a 9-foot alien, and his appendages are God, how did she word it? Appendages are anyway, the visual is the appendage grew as well to match his size of 9 foot. And she's getting ready to straddle him. And it's like, okay, how does this really work? I mean, they never talk about lube. They never talk about damage. Okay, it's a fantasy. I get it. And I roll with it, suspension of disbelief. Yeah, so anyway, I'm going to have this link in the show notes, but that is something that I have to do when I listen to my books. It's like, and how is this supposed to fit? Oh, wait, she can't even wrap two hands around it. And she's supposed to be a large girl because I listen to plus size monster romance or erotica or whatever you want to call it. So I'm like holding my two hands together right now, trying to wrap around something. My fingers are just barely not touching. You know what? I could probably fit that with a little bit of work and a lot of lube. But still, now picture it growing because he just turned into a 9-foot monster. Whoop. That one's going to be a little more difficult. But it's not like they can just slide right onto it. Ah, anyway, monster romance. And the link is about characters trying to make it work. But I will still read the things, listen to the things. One of my favorite genres at the moment because now If I could figure out where to go, where I could actually experience these things, that would be fun, but not possible that I am aware of. So I have other new places that I want to check out. One of the previous shows, I mentioned that I was looking for new places to visit in the next year. I may be changing things up a little bit on how I travel. I still don't think I'm settling down yet. My plans, I have people to stay with up through Thanksgiving. And then I don't know what I'm doing. I have a couple of options on whether I'm going to visit people, upgrade to a van so that I can literally van life, or whatever. I have a couple of options. I just haven't made up my mind yet. But anyway, let's say I'm going to travel for at least another year. And if I do that, I want places to go. I just posted on Fed a whole list of places that I just did over the last year. I've been exploring my ass off and visiting people. So, what is there to do in the next year? Well, this is a huge country. There's a lot to do, but what have I not thought of? And then recently I started thinking about rock hounding, rock hunting. I've always been interested in trying something like that. So someone reached out and their name is The Red, and they told me about the Crater of Diamonds in Arkansas and that you can go rock hunting there, crystal hunting. And I'm adding it to my list. I'm going to figure out how to do Arkansas. And then Wonder Brat was telling me about hot springs in Arkansas. So Dan and I did get there with the RV, walked around the town, things like that, but I didn't actually like experience the hot springs. And I've gone to a couple of different states where people are like, oh, join me for the hot springs. And then they ended up with COVID. And then we were at another place where we were scheduled to do hot springs, and bad weather rolled in. So I still haven't experienced a hot spring. So I may have to go back to Arkansas. Arkansas looks like it could be a stop on my trip between digging for diamonds and hot springs. I'm good with that. So if anybody else has some suggestions, I know there's a sapphire mine somewhere that I'm going to go try. It's on my list and I don't have my list up right now. And then there is a fossil field that I want to try. Shoot, there's actually fossil beds and rock hunting here in Indiana where I'm at the moment, but we just had all these floods happen. So some of these places I can't even get to at the moment. Anyway, if you guys have some suggestions, that would be fantastic, especially if it's near you and we can also sit and chat over a cup of coffee. All right, getting ready to wrap this up. I did want to throw out there that the Kinkstarter cards still have free shipping, and I will have them with me wherever I am vending or presenting. They live in my car at the moment, so wherever I'm going to be at when I went through that list, I will also have Kinkstarter cards on me. Okay. If you want to get in contact with me, I can be found at Dawn_Awakening or Erotic_Awakening on FetLife, Erotic Awakening on Instagram, EA Podcast Dawn on TikTok, or just email me at dawn@eroticawakening.com. Be a part of the Erotic Awakening podcast community. You can become a patron of the show and get early access to the podcast, a free copy of the audiobook Polyamory Toolkit, free ebooks, deck of Kinkstarter cards, discounts on monthly Zoom classes, member-only Discord Not Safe for Work channel, and more. Find all the goodies at patreon.com/erotic awakening today. And did you know there are Kinksters that haven't heard of the show? I literally just found someone that just found it yesterday. So help others find Erotic Awakening. Give us high ratings wherever you listen to the podcast. And most importantly, tell your friends. Join the conversation with other listeners. Use the links from the Erotic Awakening website for our interactive Discord channel, which is open to all listeners. Until next time, may your journey be filled with passion, joy, and a bit of naughtiness. Bye, everyone.